Welcome to another video in Arapahoe Library's series on executive function and young children. My name is Mary, and today Lorianne and I would like to share some ideas for activities you can do at home or in the classroom to help young children grow their self-regulation skills. Lorianne, can you start by reminding us what self-regulation is?
Yes. Self-regulation is the ability to understand and manage your behavior and your reactions to feelings and things happening around you.
A challenging skill for all of us, I think.
All of us.
So we've got a few ideas that use things you can find around the home or in the classroom that help children work on this skill. And here's my first idea. One way we can learn to control our bodies is by learning strategies to calm ourselves down. And deep breathing helps with this. And here are 3 ways you can try deep breathing with children. And the first is called hot chocolate breathing. So we cup our hands like we're holding a cup of hot chocolate. And then we pretend we're blowing on it to cool it down. So we take a deep breath in and then blow right on your hot chocolate to cool it down. Let's try it again. So it's a deep, concentrated breath. The second strategy, we pretend our fingers are candles on a birthday cake, and then we have to blow all of them out. So there you have 5 deep breaths. And finally, we have starfish breathing. So hold up your hand like it's your starfish, and then we're going to move our finger along as we breathe in and out. So breathe in and out. There's another 5 deep breaths. I feel calmer already.
I do too. I really like that starfish idea. That's really different. Yeah.
So Lorianne, what's your first idea?
My first idea is having the children copy facial expressions at home or in the classroom, and then remembering to name emotions also. All children early on know happy, sad, tired, hungry, mad. So it's expanding that emotional vocabulary and connecting the face with the word. If we're angry and we go, I am so angry at you, that kind of doesn't relay the correct message, right? So my first suggestion, of course, is start with picture books with faces showing emotions, or when you're reading a book, pointing out the faces of the people in the story. You can practice making those faces and naming those emotions that you're finding and reading about in the book. You can also play a really easy game that can get progressively harder and is also excellent for memory work and good for eye contacting, understanding emotions. So the easiest version is as follows. First person in the circle does an emotion face. Okay, Mary, go ahead. And then I have to copy that. We want to make sure though we go, oh, Mary looks surprised, and then copy it. Then the next person goes and maybe I'm sad. And so now we have to remember surprised and then sad. So that's the memory work. Mm-hmm. The second version, the first person might do the happy and the surprised and then move on. So you're doing 2 at the time. And then the last one, the hardest would be as your kids get older into pre-K and things, you might do 3. And we're talking small groups of children or just the children in your family. Use the same words to describe how you feel. We forget to tell kids, right now I'm feeling frustrated. I was late leaving for work. I ran out of gas. I locked my keys in the car. Now I'm at work late and I'm feeling really frustrated about that. And children get it. but when they see us using those words, it helps them to understand how that feels, what that word means. Being able to name our emotions is a very important step in building self-regulation skills.
Absolutely.
Okay, what's your next one?
So another idea I have for growing self-regulation is any kind of freeze dance. This is a really simple idea, of course. We dance, and then at some point, the music stops, and we freeze. This can be challenging for little bodies. To make it a little harder, we can add poses into the mix. I learned this idea from the Tools of the Mind curriculum. So you start the music, and while it's playing, you hold up a card with a pose on it. And when it stops, when the music stops, we're dancing, we're dancing, we're dancing. And when the music stops, you freeze. And you pose in the pose that you see on the sheet. So you're going to do simple poses like this with just your arms and your feet out for littler kids, but as they get older, you can make them more challenging, like this one with one foot up and one arm, so trying to match it. So it gets a little bit harder that way. And you can find a number of great freeze dances on children's music CDs. You can borrow those from the library. For example, Hat Palmer has one called the Wiggy Wiggy Wiggles, which is lots of fun. And Jim Gill has a fun one called the Silly Dance Party. I love that one. And we dance any way we want to in the Silly Dance Party, and then we dance a little bit slower, and then we dance with a partner, and in between, we have to freeze.
I really like the Wiggles have a great freeze song too, and I think it's just called Freeze.
I think you can find a lot of those kid songs just by searching freeze dance or freeze song.
Yeah, absolutely. And great to do as a family with the kiddos or in the classroom.
Yeah, or you can just play any music you have at home and just like music, just pause it and everybody freezes.
Right. Great listening skills.
Mm-hmm.
So my next one, again, is one that we know, but we don't always think about what we're teaching our children or the skills they get. So playing Simon Says, red light, green light, stop, go. It makes all of us, it makes the children have to stop their bodies that are in motion, just like the freeze game does. The stop, go, you can have the stop, go sign so that they can see that and begin to connect the word with the writing. So that is also fun. Mother, may I? You can do one child is the leader. The rest of the children ask, Mother, may I take 10 steps? Mother, may I hop 3 times? And again, listening, no, right? Yes. And that would be fun if you're at home. It could be Mother, may I? Father, may I? Big brother, may I? Grandma, may I? Right. And anybody can play that game. So I really like that. And again, just stopping the movement of our bodies is self-regulation.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Okay.
So, of course, my last idea involves books. Self-regulation isn't just controlling our bodies, but it's also controlling our emotions and our reactions. And this includes not speaking until it's your turn to speak. But anyone who's worked with young children knows that this is a skill they have to practice. You can encourage that practice with books by giving the kids something to look for in a story or pay a close attention to. For example, with the book Truman by Jean Reedy and Lucy Cummins, this little dandelion that's in her hair appears a number of places in the story. So you might ask the kids to just keep their eye out for that dandelion and then go back later and see where you find it. But they can't tell you when they find it. That's the hard part, is not yelling it out right away.
Right.
Or with the book, one of our favorites, Pete the Cat, I Love My White Shoes by Eric Litwin and James Dean. Of course, if you've read this, you know that he loves his white shoes, but then he steps in a pile of strawberries. And the question asks, what color did it turn his shoes? So you ask the kids to, if they know, zip their lips and see if they can not yell it out until it's time, until you ask for them to yell out, red. That can be a little bit tricky to hold our hands, or learning to raise your hand and waiting to be called on to answer a question. So either one of those works just great for building that self-regulation.
And those are all skills that we need when our kiddos start school.
Absolutely.
Just raising their hand and being able to stop and not shout out an answer.
Yes.
So my last idea for self-regulation is to have the children copy a rhythm. It can be a rhythm, you're clapping your hands, slow, fast, loud, quiet, 3 times slow, 1 time fast. You can use spoons, drumsticks, rhythm sticks, drums, the kitchen counter. Another way that you can do this is to pick a theme. Okay, so maybe food. And think of a word like banana. And then we're going to clap out banana, banana. So we're also breaking that word down into the smaller sounds, but just getting the children to hear and be able to repeat that rhythm. And then you can think of bigger words like chrysalis. That's a good one.
It's a good
right?
one.
And kids love big words. Do the dinosaurs and do the dinosaur names. Brachiosaurus. Is that 5? See, and so that would be good. And you could say it real slowly. Brachiosaurus. Or you can go Brachiosaurus, right? And make sure they're doing it 5 times. So it's just really great self-regulation, making them slow down. Another way, I did say loud or quiet. The children have to perform an action, either loud or quiet. So now you can use your body as well. Use your feet, you can stomp. And add the rhythm in those stomps. You can do that with music even, right? And we're listening to the music and doing it to the beat. So you can see how the game, you can scaffold it and make it harder and harder as the children get older and catch on to the games that we're playing.
Absolutely. I wonder how many syllables there are in the word supercalifragilistic. I'll count them later. While Lorianne counts, I want to say thank you for joining us for this episode of Executive Function and Young Children. In this video, we talked about some simple activities to do at home or in the classroom to grow self-regulation. For more information, please visit the websites listed at the end of this video and in the video description. We've also provided a link in the description to book lists that also model and help grow self-regulation, as well as books for parents and caregivers with more ideas and information. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lorianne.
Bye, Mary.